sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Beth, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm working again on a sampler quilt. I received 5 blocks right here from a friend, so I'm calling it the Friendly Sampler. I have completed 1 new block here, and that'll be in the list. And today I'm going to make the single wedding ring block right here, and then I'll be adding some new blocks. But before I do that, I thought I'd do some of these older blocks, show you how they're done, and before you know it, we're going to have a quilt. Let's get started. The block I'm working on today is called a single wedding ring quilt block, and it begins with a center square that's 4.5 inches. I then cut some strips that are 2.5 by 4.5 inches. I needed 4 of those 2 colors, and then for those square type blocks, I'm using 3.25 inch blue squares and 3 inch of that red print. And so I'll begin by making that sort of 2 patch with those bars that are 2.5 by 4.5 inches. You could also cut a 2.5 inch strip or 2 strips of blue and a red print. And after sewing that long strip together, you could just cut that long strip into 4.5 inch segments, and that would save just a little bit of time. But when you're making a scrappy quilt, you don't always have long strips of fabric. And in this case, I didn't have a lot of that red. It was not a long, with the fabric piece of fabric. So I cut them into pieces, and then after I had them sewn together, I pressed. Now all I need to do is to make 4 of those corner blocks that I call square in a square. I'm using the blue 3.25 inch square, and my red prints here are 3 inches. And it was very close when I got my little block constructed. It was very close to that 4.5 inches that I was shooting for. So if you are having trouble getting to 4.5 inches, just cut your print, like my red print here, cut it just a little bit bigger so that you can, so that it will be the right size. Like I said, mine was very, very close. I had to be very careful when I was adding those triangles around, making sure they were centered. So I just put triangles on 2 sides, and then I added them on the other 2 sides, pressed, and then I trimmed that block to 4.5 inches. In no time at all, I was able to piece this quilt block together, and I have another block ready for my sampler that I'm calling the Friendly Sampler. The blocks are going to be 12.5 inches before putting them all together, and I have a few more blocks to make, so hope you will come back next time and we'll make another one of these blocks, and before you know it, we're going to have a beautiful quilt. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.